A longtime homeless advocate says he's never seen the situation so dire in the Fraser Valley. He says the number of people living on the streets and in camps has been increasing, and he expects it's only going to get worse. CTV's Michelle Bernaro has more.
Above the Fraser River, hidden in the trees, is a place Shauna has called home for more than a year.
Tucked in and no one kind of really does bug us.
Now 24, she says she began using drugs at 13, and when her addiction to methamphetamine spiraled out of control, she ended up here.
This is one of about a dozen camps here in Mission, and if you go along the trails here, there are other camps along the way.
Advocates say the number of homeless, both those hidden and in plain view, is growing.
The level of just despair and people outside it's off the charts.
He says there are more than 500 people living on the streets in Abbotsford alone.
I think traditionally our numbers are, the average homeless used to be like in the 30s to 40s, and now the spectrum is 12 to 90.
And he says while mental illness and addiction have often been tied to homelessness, he's seeing a growing number of people who simply can't pay the bills.
We're now seeing people who are just your average 60-year-old who can't afford rent anymore. So they're being forced out.
Abbotsford has 107 year-round shelter spaces and hundreds of social housing units. More supportive housing is in the works, but it's not enough. Back in Mission, a bi-weekly organized camp cleanup is underway.
People in camps don't have access to garbage pickup. People don't have access to, all the supplies that they need. Primarily, folks that we're working with are people who are current members of the street community or have a history with the street community.
The federally funded program provides workers with a small honorarium for 2 hours of cleanup, something Shauna is taking part in.
It is really good to get the camps cleaned up. Also, there is the one camp down there that is unvacant, and the rats drag the garbage on the trail and stuff.
And while she says she'd rather be in housing,
I kind of hold myself back, and in a way I'm not too ready.
For now, this remains home. Michelle Bernaro, CTV News, Mission.